Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to class. Much like last class, we're going to start standing again. Kind of an interesting way to start a yoga class because so often we're either laying down or seated. And sometimes I just love to start kind of the energy part of the class standing or get grounded or just change it up a bit. Have a block or two blocks nearby where you can get to it and a strap. And start by just coming into a comfortable mountain pose. Maybe your feet are a little wider than your normal. Don't get real, like kind of tight and overly engaged. Just kind of find your feet underneath you. Maybe rock forward and back. Maybe lift the toes and spread them. Just get yourself really centered and then move the shoulders away from the front of the chest, but then let them drop, let them be comfortable. Again, I'm reading from Donna Fald's book called What's True Here. I've been reading a lot of her poetry lately. And I like this one. And it's called I Know How to Move. And even as you're standing in your mountain pose, feel free to just shift in your feet like I'm doing. Feel free to just kind of move around this circle of grounding. And again, I know how to move. I know how to move so that the grooves of habit and conditioning melt away, and my awareness rests undefended in the bare and wordless truth. I know how to breathe in order to receive the mystery inside of me. I know how to be so that stillness fills me. When the swirl of the world quiets, even for the briefest time, I know what it means to be at peace. So, with that, just feel that. And I love that first part of her poem when she says, I know how to move, so that we don't get into the habits and into the grooves um, that don't allow us to expand out and to explore and to inquire. So even in our yoga practice, and even when we know mountain pose or downward facing dog, always as yogis, we want to explore. We want to move and come into these different awarenesses so that maybe a tiny tweak changes the whole idea of the pose for you. Good. And then inhale, let the arms come up. Exhale them to your heart. Keep the back of the knees soft. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, heart. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale to your heart. And I knew I was already warm before I started class, so let me just pop this one off. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so feet nice and solid, hips width or slightly more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees, come on down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the knees. Move your arms, move your shoulders. Exhale, down. Keep the knees super soft. Exhale and inhale. Last one. Inhale those arms up. Take one hand down. Just stretch out through the other side. Good. Breathe. Don't go so low. Keep that shoulder open, that top shoulder open. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, the other side. Pause. Soften through the head, the neck. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees. Come on down. Soft forward fold. By the way, this is where your blocks could come in if you'd like to place those hands on your blocks. Once you're there, just shift the hips a little side to side. Just moving them around, feeling what's going on. Shifting from one side of the foot to the other side of the foot. Big deep breath. And then pause in the middle, grab your blocks, and I'll turn sideways here. I want you to take your blocks up at the highest level here. Place the hands on the block so that at least your couple of your fingers, 2 to 3 of your fingers are facing forward, and then press the palms into your blocks so that the back of your body broadens, right? The shoulder blades move away from each other, and then tone the belly in, soften the lower ribs in, and press gently into your blocks, maybe 30%, maybe 40. Think about the upper body. So we're going to be working upper body today. And just notice as the fingers, most of the fingers are forward, the forearms forward, and then take the hands sideways. Watch your wrists here so that your thumbs are pointing more forward. Big external rotation of the shoulders, the forearms, and breathe. And then take your hands backwards, which is trickier, so that the heels of the hands are resting on the blocks. Just watch the blocks because they can be unsteady. Find your breath here, stretching out the wrists. And then hands back to your blocks. Bend the knees. Take one block with you and come on up to standing. Whew, good. Shake that out. Take your feet a little bit wider. As you inhale, I want you to raise the block up, squeeze. As you exhale, now your options. As you exhale, you can tap that block down, getting those legs nice and warmed up. You can just take it a little bit less deep. You got the idea. Inhale up, exhale, tap. Inhale up, exhale, tap. Don't let the head drop. Inhale, exhale. Make sure those knees are pressing out. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Two more. Up and up and pause. Good. Bring the feet in just a little bit closer. All your toes pointing forward. And just press the block out. Simple stuff to start. And bring it back into the chest so that the elbows squeeze back. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And exhale. Two more. Squeeze it in. Last one. And then take that block behind you and press the hands on the outsides of both blocks and press the block back. Open up your chest. Nice squeeze to the belly, softness to the back of your knees. And then give me a pulse here for about 10. So press it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release that. Good. Set your block down. Grab your strap. We're warming up the upper body because we're going to be doing some upper body. So you've got your strap nice and wide. If you want, take those feet wide. Options, when you take that strap up, when you bend the arms, take that strap behind, you can add a squat to it. Don't have to, okay? So inhale, squeeze. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Good. 3 more. Exhale. Pick it up. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Hold that squat if you're okay with that. Otherwise, the legs are straight. Take the strap up and take it down in front of you, but keep the arms straight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Good. 3 more. Exhale. Notice your shoulders. Last one here. Good. And last part here. Take the arms up. You can stay in your squat or you've had enough of that for one part of class. Take the arms straight and reach. Good. Take it up. Exhale, straight, straight arms, straight-ish. And stretch. Pick it up. Reach. Good. Last set right here. Anybody feeling their legs like I am? Woo-hoo. And up and straighten the legs. Woo. Good job, everybody. Set your strap down. You won't need that for a while. And grab your block. Just one block. Find your breath. Good. So chair pose, right? I know we're getting warmed up. I want you to take that block to your chest. Inhale right here. Exhale. Go ahead and have a seat, have a squat, and lengthen the tailbone. But notice the block. Keep the chest lifted, tone in through the belly, and then press the arms straight out. Press the palms of the hands into the block to activate those triceps. And breathe. Good. Stand all the way up. Exhale, come part way down. Inhale up. Exhale, squat. Inhale it up. Exhale, squat. Hold it right here. If you can, I want you to bring that block to your chest. Squeeze the elbows back and then reach out. That's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Press it out. Stand all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Take the block to your sacrum. Press that block into your sacrum. Find your breath here. The feet are roughly hips width apart. Come halfway down and feel the pressure of the block on your sacrum. Draw the elbows back. See if the hands can rest on top of your block. Squeezing the elbows, opening up the chest. Bend the knees, look up, and stand up and shake that out. Good. I just love how this mat travels on the carpet. I don't know how y'all do it, those of you who use carpeting. Oh, all right. You got your block. Last set here, go wide. We're warming up, my loves. Come on down. Only if you want. Block comes out. Take it behind you. Hold, press the block back. Notice the fronts of the shoulders, right? So we're drawing those shoulders back. We're lifting the chest, but we're not flaring the ribs out. Breathe, take it around. And back. Straight-ish arms. Breathe. How low you go in your squat is up to you. Switch directions. We're almost done. That's it. Find your breath. Last one. Bring that block to your chest. Hold. Bring the hips back. Keep the feet wide. Set your block down. Take both hands to the mat or to the floor. Sit way, way, way back. Press the knees out. Take one hand to the middle and just release the other hand. It doesn't matter where it goes. Push that hand into the floor. Release. Take your other hand toward the middle. Push. And just release the other hand. You can let it rest. It doesn't matter. Both hands to the floor. Straighten your toes. Forward fold here, everybody. Wide or narrow legs. And then bend the knees. Take your hands to your knees. And come on up. Whew. Good. Bring the legs together if they've separated. Take a block between the legs. Keep those legs nice and active. Soften the back of the knees. Good. Rub the hands. And then interlace those hands and press them out. Lift up nice and tall. Take the arms up. Breathe. Release the hands and just hold like you're going to try to touch the ceiling with those fingertips. And as you do, I want you to lift the chest, squeeze the block, lift the chest, keep the head in alignment, and come into a little mini back bend. And then just release that and take the hands down. So again, if I'm turning sideways, how do we find the back bends? that don't sink into this low back. So take the hands, rub the hands together, interlace, press it out. Draw the shoulders back. Squeeze in through the belly. Start to take the arms up. Please don't do this if it hurts your shoulders. You can release those hands so easily. Breathe, palms are facing up. And then notice, right, the ribs, just soften those down, squeeze the block, release the hands, and imagine that you were lifting up from your belly button. So start to lift the chest more. Keep the head in alignment. Start to lean the upper body back. Keep the chin tucked. Breathe and release, forward fold. Find your breath, everybody. Release and take that block out. Grab both of your blocks. So take the blocks up nice and high. Just walk back the feet so that it's comfortable and your shoulders and your wrists are lined up. And I just want to play with this idea here. Imagine that you are in either downward facing dog or plank, right? So imagining plank, wrists and shoulders line up, the shoulders move away from the ears, and then play with, excuse me, a subtle either internal or external rotation. So really I'm moving the crease of my elbows to try to get the shoulders to either wrap outwardly, right? External rotation, or slightly inwardly. And the inward is almost like a neutral, so more so than a straight. So find what feels good to you and then gently press into your blocks and breathe. And just hold that and see if you can find firmness in those upper arms, just firmness. And then take one hand off. Keep the back of the knee soft. Press that hand back down. Release the other hand, but press. And release. Widen the feet a little bit. Bend the elbows. And then with your hands, push back into the blocks. This is tricep work, by the way. Bend the elbows. Don't let them splay out. Keep them pointing toward your knees and press up. Good. 3 more, just like that. Down. Keep the pressure on your blocks. Push. And 3. Push. Last one. And push. Bend your knees, everybody. Release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale and shake out. Good job, everybody. All right. Blocks to the front of your mat. Your body to the front of your mat. Roll your shoulders and just feel what is happening with your arms, your shoulders. Do they feel like not only are they pretty equally side to side, but there's almost the front of the shoulder wrapping back and down to the back of the shoulder. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down to your blocks. I would suggest either low or medium. Bend the knees and step back with your right leg. Find a nice solid lunge. Some of you are going to want to take the knee to the floor and just undo those back toes. Others of you are going to stay high with that knee, but firm it up. And then think about the arms again. Press into your blocks. Now, for my lovelies out there with wrist issues, whenever we're stable, try going to a soft fist. I like this one too. It keeps the wrist straight, still working with the arms. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. The neck is long. We're pressing into the front foot. We're pressing into the hands or the knuckles. Find your breath. And then leave your right hand on your block. Circle the left arm up, way back, and down. Just 3 of those. Circle up, back, down. And last one. Good. Place your hands, both hands on the block. Maybe straighten the front leg. We did more than enough of that last class if you were there. A lot of hamstring stuff. So we're not going to stay there too long. Bend your front knee, step forward, bend both knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Interlace, press out, and then come into a squat and breathe. Release, hands come down to your blocks. This time the left foot steps back. Same options here, right knee down or knee up. Squeeze that corresponding glute and then press your hands into your blocks. You can try the soft fists again. I like that for wrist strengthening as long as your wrists are stable and they're not bowing forward or back. Breathe. And imagine, I don't know, I had this image of a gorilla, don't ask me why, walking on its knuckles and the strength required for that, right? So I had this image of pressing the ground away from me, widening the upper back, keeping the chest open. Good, nice job. Keep your left hand on your block. Circle your right arm. Just 3 times. Good. Breathe, everybody. Bring that hand back to your block. Feel free to straighten the front leg. Open the shoulders, broaden through the back, press into your blocks. Keep the arms active. Bend your front knee, step forward. Oh, yeah. Bend both knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Interlace, press out. Come on down for a squat and breathe. Good. Lift up, everybody. Exhale, let go. Shake that out. We are well on our way. All right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to block. Step back with your right leg. Turn your back foot to the side position. Think warrior 2 stance. And then take your left hand to your left knee. Come on up. Warrior 2, simple, simple. Mostly simple, right? Notice in warrior, if you're really leaning over the front hip, imagine creating space from this hip crease to the hip, to the ribs, to the underneath armpit, and breathe there. Good. Back arm reaches forward, pulls it back, and extends. Reach forward and extend. Pull it back. 2 more. Last one. Pull, 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 and then take both hands behind you. Draw the hands, the knuckles back and down. Don't lift. Draw them down toward the floor. And breathe. If you can, press the heels of the hands together. That's going to open that chest up a whole bunch more. And then release. Hands come down, take it into a little cartwheel. Hold on to your blocks. Straighten your back foot to a lunge. 1, you're right here. Stay here. Hang out. 2, hands come to your knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Interlace and press out. 1 here. 2, arms raise up. Breathe. And release fully all the way down to your blocks. Push off and step forward. And shake that baby out. Deep breath. You got it, everyone. Hands come back to your blocks. This time the left leg steps back. Turn your back foot to the side position. Watch that front knee. I don't love having my back to you for that long, so I'm just going to switch sides. Sorry about that. Probably throw you all off. Turn your foot to the side position. Right hand to right knee. Come on up. Open up the shoulders. Feel where your waist, I guess, is in relation to your warrior 2. The front knee pressing out, activating that front hip, front glute. And then back arm reaches forward for 5. Pull it back on purpose and then extend it all the way out. Good. Pull back. This is 3. And 4. Don't rush it. Last one. Pull it back. You got it. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take it behind you. Interlace. Maybe interlace the other way. Press it back. Tone in through the belly. Don't overarch that low back. Breathe. Nice job, everybody. Inhale. Exhale, take it forward. Hold on to your block. Straighten your back foot. Engage the back leg. Hands come to knee. Inhale, reach up. Find your breath. Take those hands to your heart. Press the palms out. Drop the shoulders. Keep the upper back wide. Take the arms up as an option. And release fully. Hands come to your blocks. Set those blocks aside and come to downward facing dog. And breathe. Just hang on. Just hang out. Down dog. You can take those feet a little wider. And breathe. And then come to your tippy toes, everybody, and lower those knees to the floor. You can set the blocks away for just for now. We won't need them just yet. So from table pose, we have done this work before. It's not a mystery, right? But it is playtime and it is exploration time. So place those wrists, relatively speaking, under your shoulders, cushion the knees if you need to, and tone in the belly as if you were going to go to cat pose. But don't round, just tone the belly in and let the tailbone get a little bit heavy. And then press the hands away from each other and feel how that activates the back arms. Look at your fingers. Spread the fingers equally, including the thumbs, right? A lot of times we'll take those thumbs out. And then bend the elbows, take those elbows out to the side, and then roll them in as if you're going to hold something between those elbows. And then press the floor away from you and feel that, right? You can look at your elbows, the inner crease of your elbows. For most of us, they are facing the thumbs. For most of us, the index and or middle fingers are pointing forward. And for most of us, the arms are externally rotating. Notice that I say for most of us, because for some of us, a more of an internal rotation feels better. The internal rotation might keep you from locking or hyperextending your elbows. Keep the hands, walk the knees back. Keep the hands, press the floor away from you, and come into a puppy stretch. Your forehead can come to the floor. The arms are active. Breathe. Keep the hands pressing into the knuckles, feeling all the corners of the palms of your hands pressing, feeling the back working. And then take the body forward, bring the knees back to where they belong. Flip your toes under, keep those hands, lift the knees, hold. You're looking down through those hands or toward the front of your mat. Push the floor away from you, everybody. Push, push, push. I know this is a lot on the hands. Hang on. And then straighten the arms, chest toward your thighs. Straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Breathe. Take your feet wide on your yoga mat. Lift your toe or lift your heels. Keep the hands, keep the arms, keep the upper back. Lower your heels, walk those poor little hands back. Bend the knees, hands to knees. Whoo, come on up and shake that out, right? So what was that? Maybe 5 minutes, maybe? Shake out the wrists. Take one arm, bring it across. Palm is face up, shoulder is dropped. This is only the beginning, my darling, so hang in there with me. And bring it across the other way. Good. Take that same arm, bring it up. Stretch it out. Good. Do the other arm. Stretch and up and release and roll the shoulders. Whew, yeah. All right. Back to the front of your mat. Blocks are where you can get to them. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take it down. Soften and step back, downward facing dog. Down dog. Spread through the fingers. Maybe claw the fingertips in. Gather that pile of goodness through your elbows. Leave the heels off the floor, even if your down dog is usually heels down. Imagine that your upper arms have to support you fully, right? Let that work happen. Keep the shoulders broad, keep the chest and belly moving back slightly. And then float yourself to plank. Right away, I want you to drop the knees. Undo your toes, keep the hands where they are. Press straight back, big stretch here. And then as you slide through, let the hands slide forward and come into Sphinx pose. Right, so that one a little bit different. Instead of trying to work ourselves through, we're just sliding the elbows forward a little bit. Your hands are down on your mat. Your wrists are down on your mat. Your fingers are spread out. Press into your knees, press into your belly, lift your hips off the floor, keep your knees on the floor. And then lower into Sphinx. As you exhale, pull in, pull in, pull in. And lower. Good. Last one. Pull the belly, pull the ribs, pull the chest in. Breathe. Core work. And lower down. Lower all the way down. Allow those hands to come back under your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Draw the elbows back. Push into your knees. Half plank. Flip the toes under. Full plank. Reach the hips back. Find that stability in the arms. I'm finding that I tend to kind of claw in my index and middle fingers a little bit and then nail the knuckles. Spread the weight across the palms so you're not sitting on one spot and breathe. So just one more here. We're in down dog. Float slow to plank. And breathe, broaden through the back body, tone the belly in, lower your knees, keep the hands where they are, press back. Breathe. And then as you exhale, let your hands slide across your mat, drop down onto your elbows, find a Sphinx pose, press through the pubic bone as you lift up through the chest. Find your breath. You got it. Your hands are where they are. Press up and lift the elbows. If this hurts your back, your low back, walk the hands forward and then tap those elbows for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down fully, everybody. Just shake out those hips, maybe bend the knees, windshield wiper your legs. Find your breath. Then lower the legs. Just pause here for a second. Deep breath. Good. I'm just kind of scooting down my mat for a minute. Take the right arm forward. The head can rest on a block if that feels good to you, or it can rest on a soft fist or on your hand. And I want you to lift up your chest and then lift the arm. Yep, the other arm is down. It's just creating a base. and then lower everything. Lift again. One more lift. Lower. Switch sides. So the right arm stays down, the left arm extends out. You're going to lift both down, moving from that shoulder up and lift and down. Good. Both hands. You're taking hand to opposite elbow. Your head's resting on the top arm. Press down through the pubic bone and lift both arms. Release that. Take the elbows to your waist. So squeeze the elbows back and then reach them forward. Squeeze them back. Forward. One more. Squeeze back. Forward. Bend those elbows. Lower everything back down. Shake that out. And breathe. Last one here, everybody. You're going to take both hands back behind you. Pull the shoulders away from the floor. Lift the upper body and breathe. You can lift the legs too if that feels good to you. Please don't aggravate your low back. And then reach right arm forward. Bring the elbow back just one side. Forward and then all the way back. Bring the left arm forward, bend the elbow to your waist, reach it forward, and take it back. Good. Same thing, other side. Reach the right arm forward, squeeze the elbow back, reach the arm forward, take it all the way back and down. Last one, left arm forward, squeeze elbow back, reach forward, and back, and lower down. I know that was a lot. Deep breath. Just notice. And then place hands under shoulders, press into your knees, plant the hands, squeeze back to child's pose. Or another option. I know child's pose is not for everybody. Puppy stretch would be great. And then press onto your knees and hold. Come to soft fists. And breathe. And again, I keep getting the image of these big, beautiful, strong gorillas, right? It's like, right? I'm on all my knuckles. Spread the shoulders. Find your breath here and notice. Take one hand off if you can. Watch those wrists, everybody. Bring that hand down. If you can, lift the other hand, strengthening through the wrists. Release. Plant both of your hands, spread the fingers, claw in, and go back to downward facing dog. Take the feet nice and wide, walk those hands back on purpose. Bend the knees, come on up, and breathe. Shake, shake, shake. Right, so how do we work these shoulders, these upper backs, the chest in yoga without just creating so much tension? It is challenging, I got to tell you. For me, it is challenging, but we can do it, right? We just stay on it and we keep trying to both stretch and strengthen those parts of the body. So just take your feet to the width of your mat. Have one block in the middle and take those hands to your block. You can go down low. I know this is an easy stretch for a lot of you. Notice where that weight is in your legs and in your feet. Bend both knees. Take your left hand to the middle of your block and take the right arm up and breathe. Now, the hand that's on the block, that shoulder externally rotates. Big deep breath. Both knees are bent. And release. Switch sides. Both knees are bent. Both knees press out. Take the left arm up. The hand that's on the block, external rotation. Find that. And release. Good. Set your block aside. Plant your hands. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower those knees and grab one block. Are you still with me here? I hope so. Ah, good. Just rub the hands, squeeze your wrists, and find that block. Take it to the second level. I think that'll be okay. And come back to table pose with your wrists. Usually, your wrists are either in line with that far end of your block, that top end of your block, or slightly more forward. So we're going to do these funky push-ups on knees with our behinds up, right? Roughly speaking. All I want to do is bring my chest down to my block. So the elbows are training in a little bit, and I'm just going to bend and lift. I'm going to bend and lift. Yep. Got to bring my knees back a little bit, bend. So when I'm doing this comfortably, I'm just bending the elbows, touching my chest, upper belly, and coming down. Good. Just a couple more. Last one. Keep your hands where they are. Stretch it back. Back up. Leave your hands where they are. Now, instead of a standard push-up, we're going to do a half plank to a half chaturanga. So instead, I want to move my whole torso forward, drop my hips. I do lift my feet. It feels better on my knees, just so you know. My hands are planted, and this time I'm looking for my kind of belly button to touch the block. So lean forward, elbows back, 2, 4, and 5. And stretch it back. Release those hands, everybody. And breathe. Good. I won't do too much more of this, but we do have a little bit more to do. We will stretch out these arms and wrists. I promise you when we're done. Come back to table. Your hands are in front of that block. You're going to lean forward for half plank. And again, the feet can be down or they can be up, whatever feels better. Draw the inner elbows towards each other like you're holding on to all that goodness. Press into your hands and play with the idea, not even lowering. Do you like external rotation, more neutral, slightly internal? Where does it feel good for you? And then, as if you're reaching your chin for something forward of you, you're going to slide forward, bend the elbows, keep them into your sides, land on that block, and then push straight up and press back. Good. Float forward, bend the elbows, keep them training back, tap your block, push up and back. Let's just do one more. Breathe, push up, and fully release. Good. Come to hero pose, child's pose, or any seated pose that makes sense. And breathe. Chaturanga is a very interesting pose. I do chaturanga on my knees because full chaturanga has irritated my shoulders a number of times, and so I don't tend to do that. So for you, deciding if that is right for you, knees down, knees up, no chaturanga at all. The biggest thing about chaturanga is not allowing the shoulder, well, one of the big things is not allowing the shoulders to drop forward, right? And not doing kind of a dive down through the chin, but keeping that body in this like lovely little plank pose. So we're going to play with 1 or 2 planks, and then we're going to dive into chaturanga and call it a day for the upper body. All right, so move the block out of the way for now. I'll do one on hands and one on elbows. So if you want to do elbows all the way, please do. From table pose, internal or external rotation. Again, for me, it tends to work better to be a slightly externally rotated. I'm going to walk my knees back to do a little half plank. Hold it right here. Squeeze the belly in, keep the upper body nice and wide. Listen up. You're going to walk your left hand forward and hold. One, you're here. Two, you're going to take the right hand forward and hold. Keep the back wide. Keep the belly toned in. Push into your hands, working with our core. Walk your right hand back. Walk your left hand back. Lift your knees. Full plank. Tone the belly in, broaden through the shoulders. Push your floor away. Walk your left hand forward. Hold. Walk your right hand forward. Woo. Hold. Straightish arms. Belly toned. Working hard here. Walk your right hand back. Walk your left hand back. Lower those knees. And release those arms fully, child's pose. Whoo, hero. Or anything else. Shake out the wrists. Find your breath. Upper body work, especially for women, but really for all of us, can be so challenging, right? We can work our hips, legs, glutes till the cows come home, but keeping the upper body strong and healthy, healthy and strong, is a whole different thing. So we got to work on it. Got to work on it. And I'm talking to myself as much as I am to you. All right, so let's try to finish this part up. This time I want you to come down to elbows. Interlace your hands to start. Your elbows are roughly under your shoulders. The challenge here is to not go too wide. So choice number one, you're going to keep those hands interlaced. Creating that triangle tends to be a little more stable. Or from there, just separate the hands so that your elbows and wrists line up. Press into your hands. Breathe. Tone the belly in. Start to walk the knees back. And then if you're okay, lift the knees. Whew. And breathe. Push the floor away from you. Press into your wrists. Broaden through the upper back. Hold here. Push. And breathe. Oh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Come on down all the way. Release those hands fully. You got it. All right. Cannot delay the inevitable. We must keep going. All right. Grab both of your blocks, everybody. You're going to start with these blocks. Let's take them up nice and high. Now, nice and high might be relative for you depending on how long your arms are. So, if this is too high, you're going to take it down to second level, which we're going to come to. Now, one block's going to hit your pubic bone. One block is going to hit your chest. Please be mindful here, right? If this sounds a little too challenging for you today, you're going to stay on your knees, walk those knees back, and it would look like this, a little half plank, half chaturanga, okay? Otherwise, knees are up, feet are hips width apart, maybe slightly wider. You're going to bring those shoulders over your wrists, open up those shoulders. You're going to bend the elbow, see if you can tap, and then push it back up. Just one more. Tap, push it up. Down dog or knees down. And take a moment. And And breathe. All right, take those blocks, one lower, one lower. And the bottom block, you could turn it sideways if you want, just so that when it lands on the lower belly pelvis, it'll hit the hip bones, maybe. Now, here's where I'm talking about trying not to dive, right? Trying not to dive into that front area, but keeping the body as level as possible. And I don't always do it properly either. So this is where we learn, this is where we play. So let's take those hands forward of the front block. Remember, knees down, right? Knees down just kind of looks like this. You're not going to touch your top block probably because you're hitting the bottom, or knees up. Now, don't let your elbows splay out, darlings. Put those elbows in. Lengthen, tone the belly. Bend the elbows. Inhale. Exhale, lower. You can land on those blocks as long as it doesn't hurt. Replant the hands. Press the elbows back. Firm up your legs and push off. Just one more. Squeeze the elbows in. Drop down and push up. Down dog or child's pose. Lower your knees. Move the blocks completely out of the way. Right? How you feeling? These are tougher classes for me to teach and probably tougher to take unless you are much stronger in your upper body so that this is a piece of cake. All right, we got one left. If you can, hang in there with me, and then we will stretch all of this out. So, as I mentioned to you, I tend to do chaturanga on my knees because I don't like giving my shoulders a hard time. So, we're going to start with our knees. And I want you to give yourself permission to land on the floor. Like, don't worry about it. The tailbone tucks slightly, the belly is in, the shoulders are really broad. And I want to take a deep breath here. And as I exhale, it's like I'm trying to take my body forward and drag my hands back all the way down. And then just push up. Same thing. So the torso goes forward, the elbows come back, and we land. Okay. Option one, just one. Knees up. Butt up, no, right? You can take the feet a little wider. In that length. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Whoa. Lower down fully and release. And breathe. And then roll over to one side and come up to a seat. Yes. Ooh, feel that work, right? Shake out the wrist. Good. Grab one wrist right at the base of the palm and squeeze up your forearm. Ooh. Shake it out. Other side, squeeze at the wrist, down the forearm a couple times. Shake it out. Both hands forward. I want you to curl your wrist. That's probably where you're feeling. At least for me, it's the back of the wrists from all of this. Good. Breathe. You can do both or you can do one and just pull back. If the elbow is bent, you're not going to get a whole lot there. So straighten the elbow. I'm feeling that stretch all the way up this nice little muscle of the forearm. Good. Other side. Soft shoulders. And release. Shake those out. Interlace the hands and just circle wrists. So you're just kind of like doing a little figure eight here. And then change the interlace and do that again. And shake that out. Arms wide, right elbow under the left. Either you're bending at the elbows or you're coming to eagle arms, or you're just going to bring the left arm across, okay? So again, eagle arms is not accessible to everybody, so lots and lots of options. Change out the legs if they're getting cranky. Remember which elbow is on the bottom. Inhale, take it up. Exhale out to the side, go to the other side, left under right for me. Breathe. And release, take it up. Out to the side, right under left again. Good. And this time, so whichever arm is closest to you, which for me is my left arm, I'm going to bring both arms over to the right. Breathe. So again, whichever arm is on top, go to that opposite shoulder. Drop the shoulder. This should be a pretty sweet little stretch for you. Elbows back to the center. Switch. Last one. Good. Bringing it across. Ooh, soften the shoulders. And then bring those arms across to the left. And center and just shake that. Wow. Grab your strap, everybody. I did a lot of shoulder work yesterday, so I'm triple feeling it. Wah. Take the strap nice and wide. Oh, goodness. Take it up. Bring it back behind. Don't double joint those shoulders. Just stretch, soften the fingers. Shouldn't be a whole lot that you have to hold on to there. And breathe. Take it up and release it down. Shake out and roll your shoulders. Ooh, good. Release your strap, everyone. Keep your blocks handy. In fact, let's do that to start. I think we will. So you're going to take one block low, and then your second block is either at the same height or up one. This is for your head. This is for your shoulders. Both work. Now, if you have a lot of upper body rounding, usually your head block has to go higher, and sometimes the lower block is too much, so you would just take a blanket and roll that up so it isn't quite digging into your upper back so much. But come on down, and I know how good this will feel. It's not really a resting, it is a resting pose, but we're not quite done yet. So lengthen your tailbone. Your feet are to the floor. The arms are out to your side. And I can tell my little ponytail is just in the way. Oh, that's better. Whew. And allow your arms to just splay out to the side, elbows on the floor. That block is sitting, the lower block is just sitting between or on the shoulder blades or between them. Your head resting on the upper block. If this doesn't feel comfortable, please change something, right? Usually it's a matter of moving this bottom block higher or lower, or turning it to the more narrow setting or the wider setting, depending on which way you went. But just breathe here for a second. That's it. Keep the tailbone long so that you're not in your low back here. And then take both arms up to the ceiling. Palms are face forward, your fingertips reaching up to the sky. And then pull the arms up to stretch the back shoulders. Just pull as if you could touch the ceiling with your fingertips. And then very softly bend the elbows, bring the elbows to the floor, and lift up. Exhale slow. Inhale, lift. And elbows down. Good. Two more. Squeeze down. Good. Last one. Squeeze. And then with elbows on the floor, just see if the backs of your hands will come down to the floor. That may not. This is a big external rotation of the shoulders and shoulder blades. So don't force this one. Yep. Just breathe. And then lift the fingers up, go the other way. Palms are face down, elbows are bent. Release that, straight arms. And then take the hands behind your head. Hold on to the back of your head. So my hands are now resting on that top block, and the elbows are dropping out to the side. Again, this might be a lot for some, so please don't overdo it. As you release, tuck your chin toward your chest. If you can, hold on to your legs and lift yourself all the way up. Whew, good. And then release that. You're going to turn back around onto your hands and knees. I'm going to run out of time. And you're going to take both of your blocks and just kind of angle them a little bit. Your elbows are going to go on those blocks. So bring the elbows forward, a soft interlace. You're going to walk those knees back and just drop your head, shoulders down through those blocks. Some of you can bend the elbows at this point and just let the hands kind of raise up. This is a big stretch for the shoulders. Again, be careful, be gentle. And release it. Walk both blocks to the very front of your mat. Take the hands to your block. And again, stretch, puppy stretch. Release all that fully. Set your blocks aside. Come on to your backs. We're moving toward Shavasana at a pretty quick rate. So just make sure you're warm enough. If you happen to be in a cooler room or cooler climate, come on down to the floor. Your feet are on the floor for a moment. Shoulders are down. Draw your knees toward the chest and then allow the knees to roll over to the right. The left arm is going to lift up to the ceiling. Your right hand, by the way, can make a pillow if you want, if your head's hanging a little too low. But otherwise, your left arm is going to come across, and then the elbow is going to bend to open it back up. Just 3 of these. Reach it across, and then bend the elbow to open chest. 1 more. And then hold this twist. Find your breath. Releasing the ribs, the shoulders, the chest. Good. Take those knees back to the center. Both knees to chest. Allow the knees to roll to the left. Same thing with the right arm. You're going to lift it up and across and then bend the elbow to open. Good. Reach it across and open. Good. Last one. Reach it across and then open. Hold that twist. Smile. Just breathe. Release your twist. Come on back to center, everybody. Hips are center, legs are center, both knees come to chest. Just wrap your arms either around the knees or underneath. From here, straighten one leg nice and long. Straighten the other leg nice and long. Feet are wide, shoulders are down, the palms maybe are face up. The neck is long on all four sides. And we take a moment here to surrender to Shavasana, to maybe finding the stillness that opens up the universe. Drawing the breath in and just letting it go. Soften down even more. If you are in Shavasana and you would like a longer Shavasana, please stay. If you are ready to move, start to bend the knees. Maybe let your feet come to the floor. Feel how grounded, centered, alive you are. And then draw the knees to your chest. Allow the knees to roll over to one side. Taking a nice deep breath here. And then pressing up all the way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Bow your head. Remember all the goodness in the world, all the kindness, all the love. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.